So Andrea, 2020 has had one actual surprise. I mean, aside from the global pandemic that has altered humanity for the rest of time.
What is it?
It's the Audient demo that we did earlier in the year. One of our last live shows with the Emeryld Ryders. We demoed the Audient Evo interface to record the show, which was really cool, right?
Loved that interface.
Well, guess what?
They're
They made a bigger, better one. Okay, so now this, the thing about the last one is it had two inputs, which was great because we just took a stereo feed from our mixer and then plugged it in and it sounded really good. We were both very impressed. It had a smart gain feature, which we're going to talk about. But now they've stepped it up into something that's more robust for the discerning musician. You know what that is?
Us.
Well, I was going to say they didn't really add us to the interface.
Oh.
It's okay. It just shows that you weren't really paying attention to anything that I was saying. You were just looking at your hair on camera. But they've added 4 inputs now, which means you can do some real deal full band stuff. Because I think you should use at least 4 inputs for like a drum kit. My new method of recording acoustic guitars is actually requiring of 3 inputs. So we are going to use this to demo a new track that we're going to make Andrea and Sean style. And
as we always do.
What do you should we get to it?
Evo.
Alright, so if you've ever recorded anything, you know the absolute most annoying thing is setting the gain on different microphones. So the way I like to record acoustic guitar now is I have 2 microphones here, KM184 and an Earthworks SR25. And I also have the DI from the Taylor ES2 expression system. So the cool thing is that you can really just set everything really easily with the smart gain feature, okay? So I'm gonna walk you through it right now. So what you do, once the mics are plugged into the back here, you press this button once, right? Now this will illuminate all the different inputs. So you wanna select which inputs that we have, 1, 2, and 3, and then press the button again, okay? So now it starts glowing red, and then you can start playing whatever it is that you're gonna do, all right? So I can start. And then after playing for a while, it'll be done and it automatically sets the levels for you, and then you can just track it and rock it out. This is definitely the most helpful thing ever when it comes to tracking drums. I can't tell you how many times I've had to set a level here, run over to the drum kit, reset it, do it again, waste a lot of time. Now I can just press this button and get to it and get an excellent drum sound. Andrea, isn't that exciting?
Super exciting.
Yeah, we're tracking drums now?
Yeah. Wait, what are you saying? Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what's up. It's time, it's ready. I'm ready to go, let's track it. Here we go, one take.
Yeah, that's too much pressure.
I know that it's wrong to stray from the path I started yesterday. But in my heart there's just one way to show the things I meant to say.
So one piece of gear I definitely don't talk about enough is this guy right here, the DSi Prophet Rev 2. I love this thing, and it's on pretty much all the produced tracks I do in one way or another. The great thing about this is I have this hooked into this monstrosity of a mass pedal board going on, but really the synth right now is just going through the timeline, the Strymon timeline, and Big Sky, and I have that going right into the Evo right now. So again, sounds pretty cool. Just great for like kind of ambient pads. And that's what we're gonna do now because it's cool because it has stereo out. That's why I like those Strymon pedals, because they both have stereo capabilities. So with the delay and the reverb, you can kind of get it bouncing around, which is perfect for ambient stuff. That's what we're gonna do right now. So we have 4 inputs, we have 4 outputs. Cool thing is it also has 2 headphone outputs, so you can like work with another sarcastic partner, perhaps, at the same time, and a direct in for a guitar or bass, something like that. One thing I do want to mention is it's USB-C. Now, it doesn't come with an adapter. Luckily, I had a USB-C to 2.0 adapter handy, so I was able to pop that on there, but just one thing to think about is if you just have a regular computer that doesn't have USB-C, you might need an adapter for it.
I know that it's wrong to stray
Alright, so here's what I've learned from tracking an entire project through this really inexpensive $200 interface as compared to using the usual expensive preamps and compressors and outboard stuff that I usually use. Is the one thing I did notice on the bass is I really rely on a compressor. So I usually track my bass through a 6176 Universal Audio pre-compressor thing, and that is definitely like an improvement, but I just threw a compressor plug-in on the bass in Logic, and I think it sounds pretty good. Same with the acoustic guitars. They sound great through the preamp, and I definitely have to EQ a little bit to make them, I guess, a little brighter. I don't want to say brighter, but just less mid-range, which I guess is technically brighter. But I think they sound pretty good. The one thing about this interface specifically is the smart gain control thing is something that I'm absolutely in love with. And I know there's like a lot of stuff that I demo, and I'll like just talk about the features, but every now and then there'll be a feature that's like, oh yeah, this is like some new technology, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Smart gain is something that I'll use every single time I use this interface because, again, tracking the acoustic guitar and just having it set your gain levels for 2 microphones and a DI is awesome. Tracking the drums, like I said before, takes a lot of the guesswork out of it. And it's a great mixing point to start with in a project, right? So I think that's definitely an awesome feature to have for $200. The thing that I've learned is it's really more about, now the interfaces are so inexpensive, there's no excuse for you to not really have one. And I think the microphones now are something that makes a big difference. So it seems to me that you might want to invest more in a microphone because the interfaces have come down so significantly that they're just really good, right? So again, I'm using this on a few different things. I even have a bonus one after this that I'm going to use just because I still have it hooked up and I like it so much. So we did an acoustic guitar thing earlier today. But if you're interested, I'm going to link the description to the Evo 8. I'm going to link to the product in the description. So check it out. Let me know what you think.